Oh my goodness. Also, for whatever reason, I was like looking up, or not looking up, I was like recommended Nigerian like dance music, and I found a very fun playlist called Soulful Ama Piano 2026. I have not like stopped listening since last night. Like there's like a couple songs on there that go insane. Um, anyway, like for whatever reason, when I listen to these songs, I feel like I want to return. I want to return to the Venus of Willendorf, and I feel like the Parasite mode of White Knuckle will give me an opportunity to do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna. I've only played this like once before, but I was like considering the sort of like level layout of this custom mode in comparison to something like the main campaign, and I would say like literally directionally, um, it's pretty different, kind of, but I don't know. I'm not even sure what I'm trying to imply here or go with, but I'm just gonna like proceed. Also, this part for whatever reason is very visually striking. Um, I don't know why. It's just I think it's something to do with like the red palette here that sort of kind of switches to a more greenish kind of hue. Um, it's really cool. It's a little bit foreboding, but I think it's something about the lighting here too. It feels it feels like both very accurate or like true to life in a way, but also there's something about it that also um, I don't know. It's interesting. It's like a glimpse. It's like a glimpse of some like area over there that could be interesting, but then it's like no, actually you're just supposed to go here instead, which is cool. So I very much enjoy the whatever they have going on here in terms of like the atmosphere and the level design. Something about this feels very cool, very awesome. I don't know. Anyway, oh, just like randomly playing music. Okay. So, wait, am I supposed to go this way or this way? I'm already kind of lost. So yeah, I mean, I guess to like go over it very literally, um, I kind of like what the main campaign has going on, which is, I mean, it's like very directly a more, it's like much more directly a vertically upward, I guess, kind of movement. Whereas this one, it's more about like descension, I guess, and I sort of like that about this game in general. It's because they're playing. I feel like they're experimenting with the ideas of what do you call it, like orthogonal or Cartesian movement in like both a 3D space, obviously like this, but also in terms of like the layout and the level design. It feels usually either very. It's mostly like vertical, but like one mode has you go, I guess, supposedly upwards, and the other, this mode is supposedly more like downwards kind of thing. But yeah, wait, where am I supposed to go? I want to try like some of the other game modes um, as well, because I played this one once before, and I played the chimney one once before as well. And the chimney level reminds me a lot of another game that I played called Bet on Brutal. It's another sort of like 3D platformer scaling title, and that one's really cool as well, but personally I do prefer the like climbing mechanics of this game a little bit more, whereas that one feels more like a sort of Minecraft slash Roblox parkour game, where it's mostly just about like jumps and precision jumps. So that's fine, but it can definitely be very frustrating sometimes. And I would say this game, like the movement mechanics overall are, it just feels so much more fun in general. And also it's because like on the way down, I feel like from a drop, there's a lot of opportunity to like grab onto like a ledge or a piece of wire or something. And I think that's a very good choice because it doesn't feel overly frustrating. In fact, it feels very rewarding when, for example, like I'll accidentally fall here, but then somehow like be able to grab onto like a random like cord that's just floating around. Um, so that's cool. I really like that. So I'm not sure what the lore is, but this one is SB10. In the main campaign, you start off in SB17. So I guess like the most basic literal guess would be like this is just lower on. Uh, if like the two facilities were sort of attached, this facility could be just like a little bit lower than the main campaign. Um, so that makes me wonder about like what happened at like SB0. Do I even want to know? Like I feel like it got kind of crazy. But yeah, how do I? I think you just go here. Okay. I really I like the color palette of the section a lot. It's really interesting. It's like a grimy. It's sort of like that grimy, grimdark piss filter that was so prevalent in like early 2000s media for whatever, like a very grungy kind of thing. And yeah, it's really cool. Confinement. Organism Zeta. So last time I'm pretty sure I found one of the fuel cells, but I think I was just sort of like randomly wandering around and I happened to stumble on it. Yeah, for whatever reason, I've been thinking about like the Venus of Willendorf again, and I feel like I have not visions, but like feelings of this figure and being like enveloped in this figure, and it is sometimes a very scary thing, but also comforting thing. And like, why does this happen? This feels like it's a memory that's stored away in everybody for the most part, but like it can be a very, like depending on the person, I feel like it can be a very traumatizing, like locked memory, like a locked ancestral memory from eons ago or whatever. Or like it can be just like a whatever memory, like why, oh, this is just kind of random, like why, I don't know. Oh, I think we have to be quiet here. Not. I don't even know what that is. It kind of looks like a bacteriophage or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why, but recently I feel like I've unlocked like stored ancestral memories from a while ago, and it's like this very like bulbous figure. Um, it's a very bulbous figure, and then maybe maybe they don't appreciate that comment. It's just a very like, oh my goodness, it's like a very um, something kind of figure, and yeah, just make it go away. Um, okay, maybe I'll try this way instead. And again, I think this like stored memory might be in everyone for the most part, but like it's just locked away to a certain extent, or like abstracted to a certain extent that feels like more or less comfortable with everybody. And yeah, for whatever reason, like sometimes it'll be weird. It's like sometimes it'll be a little bit frightening, but sometimes it'll also feel like one of those like DreamWorks cartoon animation dancing scenes as well by the end of the movie. And I don't know why that is. Oh, I haven't been here yet. But I imagine like very like rhythmic and harmonic music. And like there's a Venus of Willendorf figure dancing for whatever reason, and they're like busting it down. And yeah, it's cool. But I don't know. It's like I'm not even sure why I have this like I don't even know if it's a memory or it's like a random thought or like it just happens sometimes. I think recently. I also heard that I don't know, there's something I was looking up something regarding the flower of Venus pattern that like the orbit of Venus makes, and it looks like a sort of like a flower, and I don't know why that's also been on my mind lately, but it looks cool. So I'm just like stalling for whatever. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Also, I like this setting a lot. It feels a little bit more. It feels like a slightly more compelling version of like the plant overgrowth on concrete setting, like plant overgrowth on brutalist structures, because I feel like that's been kind of done already for a lot of games and like media. Whereas this is more a little bit more interesting, I think. It almost feels like steampunk industrial revolution meets like alien parasites, which is something that's interesting to think about, because in a way I feel like the industrial revolution definitely like birthed a sort of like altering trajectory in like the consciousness of certain places, and or maybe I'm like over exaggerating, maybe not to like that extent, but definitely did something, obviously. And in some ways I feel like that time, as it was happening live for a lot of people, it was very alien. It was just like crazy, because it's like during the Industrial Revolution, as it was happening, there was probably just like tubes everywhere, like pipes and tubes that were just going crazy everywhere, and I don't think they were probably laid out as neatly as they are now in most cases in like typical refineries or factories. Like now it almost takes on like a clean aesthetic in a sort of weird way, where like factories at night, for example, have all those like fluorescent bright lights, and it's often very like reflective and really shiny, and all the pipes kind of look like they're organized. All like the pipes and like apparatus feels like they're organized very efficiently, and it's all very compact and things like that. So in like a weird way, it almost feels clean and like nice to look at or pretty to look at in a very specific way. Whereas like this is obviously a little bit more reminiscent of like the industrial era, where it was just like there was so much like coal and grime, and like the textures are just like probably were like this quite a bit. And oh no. And yeah, it must have felt kind of alien, because there was just probably a lot of like tubes and wires going everywhere. Like the tubes were going haywire, and it was messy. It was probably very messy in a lot of ways, and I don't think like the labor laws were doing any favors for anybody. But oh shoot, why is it? Where is this fuel cell? Oh well, it's fine. Oh, it's right there. What am I doing? Oh shoot. Run. Oh no. Kindly go away. Like, very kindly go away, please. Thank you. How do I leave? Thank you. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I've been infected, so I need to use one of these. I'm just gonna go somewhere else. I don't know why, but this almost feels like cartoony. Like something out of Looney Tunes, when I'm just like running from those creatures. But it is also like properly scary as well. Like for whatever reason, like the Looney Tunes sound effects are sort of like playing in my mind as I'm like scurrying from location to location here. But it is also like kind of terrifying. I don't know if I have to repeat that, but please. Go. No! Okay, well, should I? I'll do one more. Why was I talking about Nigerian soul music? Oh, it's because the other day, like I was at work last week, and I was like looking for places to find food during lunch break. So I walked to one, and it was like a Nigerian food place, and I haven't really tried much like Nigerian food before, and I thought it was okay. Well, partially because I don't think I ordered like an extremely authentic dish or anything like that. I just kind of went with like a curry with plantains and miscellaneous vegetables, and it was pretty good. And I think the plantain part was probably a little bit more authentic or true to that style of cuisine, and it's pretty good. It's like it's at a level of sweetness that isn't overly sweet, and sort of paired with like the miscellaneous sauce, like the curry sauce mixed with whatever spices they had going on. It was an interesting blend of flavors that wasn't like overpowering in any way. It felt very natural, so I liked that. And I kind of want to know whatever like spices they had used in that curry, because it was kind of good. But at the same time, I'm not sure. Like if I were to revisit or a similar place, if I were to like revisit a similar place, it would probably be, I'd probably like try to order a dish that's a little bit more, I guess, traditional in some senses. But I don't know. Anyway. Oh, I remember why. It's because like in that restaurant, there was like a karaoke section sort of. It was a very interesting layout. So like the way the space was laid out, it had like a bunch of booths and seating, and then in one section there was just like a random karaoke stage kind of thing. So like the stage slash karaoke section of this restaurant was pretty much like in the center almost sort of like the dining table area, and there wasn't like that much people there at the time, but I imagine on certain days or certain nights it like it can probably get like pretty festive in there. And so I remember they were playing like Nigerian music, I believe, like Nigerian dance music or soul music. I was like, hey, this is kind of catchy. So I think that's why I was like looking up uh, like Nigerian soul mixes or music mixes on online recently.